Oke lah guys, welcome to my channel and seperti biasa kita akan melanjutkan story. Sabar. Apa? Perlu selesaikan quest lain terlebih dahulu untuk ya pasti ini quest tataran ini karena belum bisa. Apa nih? Pada akhirnya tarian ini membawa terjadi semuanya kalau ucap pertiga kau tidak salah ingat sebenarnya kamu lihat betul di depan kamu itu. Gimana guys, kita lanjutkan saja, ikut aja. Sorry.
You're actually the hero, aren't you? I felt like Catherine was acting weird when we met at the Sub-Zero and Dunyarzad. Did you save her? It's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened.
Yalah,
Let's chat
linknya
somewhere
diambil
else.
semua kan? Gimana?
How about by the traveler's favorite bench?
Pasti link lu dia. Oke. Kita bicara dengan Nahide. Let's go. Mana? Lewat. Push, nice. Kok tidak ada bunga ya? Nahida. Gimana kalau Nahida? Sudah sampai tempat tujuan. Apakah?
Let's talk about Dunyarzad first.
Belum saja dari
It's such a relief that she... After we parted on the last day of the Sub-Zero's festival, I left the city and saw what among the countless dreams, I found one that was growing fainter and fainter. Once Dunyarzad could no longer bear the Akasha harvesting her dreams. Such a small fragment of consciousness can't last for very long, though. It will return to where both will gradually fade until they completely disappear.
Okay.
I used all the power I had to keep her dying dream alive as long as possible. But it still wouldn't have lasted for much longer. So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad in the end. Not a moment too soon.
Ini benar-benar keajaiban.
Huh? Why are you two smiling so happily? I thought you'd be so moved that you'd start crying. Both are fine. Everyone reacts differently. All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you saved my faithful believer.
Oke.
As your reward, I will answer any and all questions.
Oke, ada beberapa pertanyaan. Yang pertama kita coba tentang apa yang kulihat dalam mimpi di hutan Apid.
At the Avidia forest, there was this incense that made the traveler fall unconscious and dream of a huge tree and a red sky.
Okay.
You also heard someone's voice, right? It said world and forget me. Yeah, so you do know! We've been wanting to ask you what that was about. And if the red... It seems like the traveler established a connection to Irminsul. That was a message, as you two probably know. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared after the disaster in Conria. The timings of these events do a message from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? We thought it was from King Deshret. King Deshret? That god who died even longer ago? Some present-day desert dwellers. Okay, so what does the message mean? I still haven't managed to decipher it. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul seems to be contaminated with something that has a very dangerous aura to it. Many devoted scholars go mad as soon as they connect their consciousness. I've warned, but I believe this is the key to saving Irminsul. That's why... So the tree in the vision was Irminsul? Oh, Tainari also said that Irminsul is sick! Is it because of the contaminated consciousness?
Okay.
But even if you can't figure out what that vision was all about, the traveler wasn't affected after coming in No, we must decipher its secrets. I've already eliminated all other factors that matter. This puzzle has life and death at stake. It could determine Irminsul's fate, as well as Tibet's.
Tentang rencana para Saudi, tidak ada yang dari maksud apa sih? Yang kok kamu mirip Catherine ntaran aja, kita tentang rencana para Saudi.
There's never been any big problems with the academia's governance of Sumeru. This is the first time I've seen them step up. I wonder what caused them to go down this path, and what they hope to achieve. Even though the city's residents haven't noticed anything strange, if the traveler hadn't broken the Sub-Zero Samsara, the situation I tried to do some investigating in the Akasha, but I couldn't find anything suspicious. And all the people of interest seem to purposely avoid wearing the... I think they're deliberately trying to hide something. Oh, that reminds Paimon. In Gandharvaville, there was a sage who had invited Kainari to join some kind of... Regardless, I need to first investigate the sage's motives, make things right, and punish them if needed. But I'll have to be discreet, or they'll see me coming.
Tidak ada yang menyadari masalah Akasa.
You mean how the Akasha stops you from having dreams? Yeah, it's been such a long time. No one's noticed something's up? It's not that no one noticed. It's more like no one cared. Ultimately, it's all rooted in the sage's misdirection. Misdirection?
Misdirection?
The sage has convinced everyone to believe that being unable to dream is a sign of rationality and wisdom. Not dreaming is a badge of honor in Sumeru. Even if the truth is that they're dream sides. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata must have created the Akasha in the hopes that it could... Anyway, the perspective advocated by the sages drowned out any voices of doubt. By now, even those who never use Akasha terminals find it too shameful and embarrassing to talk about their dreams.
Seperti itu dah. Oke, kita terakhir kok kamu hidup Catherine ya.
To be accurate, I'm using the Akasha as a medium to occupy Catherine's consciousness. What? How did you do that? Poor Catherine.
Kita sadar orang lain.
Theoretically, I can enter anyone's mind as long as they're wearing their Akasha term. The Akasha is the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. As Lesser Lord Kusanali and the first Akasha, I've always respected my people's free will, so I've never actually occupied their consciousness. When necessary, I just borrow this bionic Sinjnayan puppet. Hold on, did we just learn some deep, dark secret? So Catherine is... No. Wonder, what about your own body? Why do you need to borrow other people's? Don't you live in the sanctuary? That story begins a long time ago. After Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared, the sages found my newly born... At that time, I was young and weak. The sages kept me in the sanctuary of Surasthana, ostensibly for the sake of protecting me. But, however, I do understand that they had hoped to find Greater Lord Rukkhadevata instead of... So, the sages basically put their new archon under house arrest? How dare they? In some ways, you're wrong. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was omniscient and omnipotent. Even after her and I... I'm still really far away from being able to call my... Look at the Sub-Zero Festival. Thank you for the kind words. But I honestly don't... Trying to find a way to save Irminsul is my life's mission, and every once in a while, I will also take up the duties of the God of Wisdom and enlighten a lost soul here and there. Doing all that should be enough. Got it! I hope my answers were satisfactory. To be honest... Oh, and you don't need to worry too much about the sage's activities for now. Get going, get some sleep. Leave everything done.
Ceritanya rumit kali guys ya. Serahkan saya pada kami.
What a relief. This is true.
Kenapa lagi nih?
Traveler? Paimon? Why am I here?
Woi,
Do either of you know?
Maybe
itu jalan
you were
kota.
sleepwalking. You know you can't wake up a sleepwalker.
I see. Huh. I should visit my maintenance personnel sometime.
Oke. Clear dong.
Quite some time in Sumeru
What?
City. Ever since we
Oke.
last said goodbye to Lesser Lord Kusanali, we haven't heard.
Mimpi kosong dan muslim. Bagian 3. Oke, kita lanjut guys. Chapter 3 bagian 3. Let's go.
Anything from her.
Mana tuh? Kita target. Kita cepat menyelesaikannya guys. Let's go. Anjir, mana nih? Sini toh Catherine. Walah.
Ad Astra Avisos.
Ebisos.
We meet again, you two.
Ad Astra Ebisos. Ketemu lagi.
Hi, Catherine.
Apa
Do you have any commissions for us today?
Commissions, huh? Oh, how about this? Please attend the Academia's Academic Symposium this afternoon.
Say what?
And if possible, please
Untuk
also
mereka
use your
berperan
camera to
sebagai
capture the reaction of the...
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
Kita coba yang kedua. Reaksi paling pastinya. Smart sekali ya.
I see. It appears that you're not... In that case,
Ke pelabuhan
please go to
menuju
Port Armos and
Kalimantan.
convince the Eremites there to spend some time volunteering at the...
Hey, that's not any better.
Dan percayakanlah. Antara Beran dan panti asuhan kayaknya tidak cocok deh.
I'm sure the mercenaries will have some...
Paimon's
Nah,
gonna ask.
masih
Did
kritis.
you exactly have the...
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you in action.
Orang yang misalnya aku yang ingin dalam dorasi. Ah, kamu bukan Catherine yang sebenarnya ya.
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often.
Ini apanya ya? Lupa. Sorry. Oke.
So it's Nahida. I just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. From when she said, Ad Astra Avisos? So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways. And I even had a really, really long dream.
Terus terjadinya sejak aku berpisah dengan kamu dan aku bahkan bermimpi banyak sekali. Jadi aku tidak bisa merebut mimpi para dewa.
It was another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival, except it was a happy one. In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands as they danced in circles around me. I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. There's the night you know, Nahida.
Mimpi
Maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zero's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your birthday.
Tapi pada kenyataannya,
Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? Why are you both looking at me? No, we're pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just don't want you to feel... By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she doing? The homie Yanni's having a lap. Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. She was resting at the time. Her condition is stabilized. But for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what the... Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme? So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the sage's activity. Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers. We're gonna be borrowing Catherine for a little while.
Oke, baru dimulai. Mimpi kekosongan dan muslihat dimulai. Aduh. Ini seperti yang tadi tuh. Yang terakhir dong ya. Oh, Oke, that's good. Lanjutkan. Lanjutkan sebentar saja.
Let's continue our chat here. Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate? Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now, I want to hear...
Langsung rasul kita beri rasul kita untuk menyelinap ke kantor para sakit. Kita bisa culik seorang dekat dengan sakit terus tadi. Coba yang kedua.
No way, that's too risky. You mean it'd be too... No, it's not that. Doing that would be ignoring the safe... That's a good point.
Kita bisa culik seorang dekat dengan sakit terus tadi. Yang pertama.
I've already tried that. But all the key members of the academia, even the core, it seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding it. Have you already got to say... I'm guessing not. Anyways,
Oke, terakhir. Oi.
As of now,
Bangkit.
since we still don't... After all, every person in Sumeru City...
Tidak ada ide lagi.
Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have... According to a popular theory from the Bahumana Darshan... Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of... Well, I've been thinking that if I can't, then I should find someone who's already involved. But hasn't... You're saying we should recruit a spy? That did... Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Al-Hitham. He seems like he acts a lot. Actually, I already have someone in mind. He's Setaria. Paimon remembers now. We ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself. Paimon still remembers the smug and... They've always liked observing up. She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic... Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from... The name Setaria means star. When she lived in the desert, later on, she was chosen by the sun. Soon after, the star witnessed the sun scorching the earth. The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such... But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
Tapi pada akhirnya dia juga tidak rela meninggalkan terangnya untuk menghadapi mengubur rasa bersalah dan menutup mata. Ini sudah bukan sekedar sebutan dari pemikiran Setaria yang benar. Baik.
From the sound of it, Setaria just hung up on the reef, but she doesn't really support the academia. She still feels guilty about not doing work. Indeed. When they are presented with complex she suppressed a lot of guilt. But before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. She kicked right. We must somehow, that way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can, from my past observations, Setaria will take a day off from the academia every 10 days to do some shopping in the city. Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her, to prepare. Let's go check out some of her favorite spots.
Oke. Apa ini? Amati. Hari silih berganti dari berjumpa dari belakang mencerita bla teka-teki atau orang. Oke. Pembara dengan teka-teki terus juga sebentar dari ini teka. Oke. Bicara tentang teka orang juga belum bisa katakan seperti berikutnya ada yang benar susah dimati, jadi tidak banyak orang yang mau berurusan dengannya. Jadi teka-teki berada seperti ini. Oke. Selain teka-teki ini sebetulnya bertunjukkan seperti tersembunyi. Wow. Cukup muncul di waktu cara dan lokasi yang tepat, maka hartanya dimiliki. Terus bilang lokasinya hartanya semua di dalam kota Semeru. Tapi saya kamu lihat belum ada satupun pertolongan berhasil. Silakan coba kau tarik. Tapi kalau kau kasih mending jangan bla bla bla. Oke, komparasinya kita balik ke bawah ya. Kita kumpulkan informasi dulu.
This should be Sataria's favorite fortune-telling spot. So should we ask the fortune teller about Sataria? No, I already have enough information on Sataria. The most important thing now is for you to pay its talking style and keep my poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over the divine voice of wisdom often echoes between my... Huh? Really? Nahida, you can... Shh! Of course, of course. In that case... It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you. Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial...
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Tolong ramalkan ke satu. Coba yang kedua.
Love prospects? No problem at all. The gods have spoken. One who is fated to cross your path will appear on...
Banyak sekali orang berdiri.
So many people. Marut! Did you two spoil my divination? Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably... I admit that the orientation of today's celestial matron...
Is that so? Well,
if you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit, perhaps...
Kumpulkan bersihnya.
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite songs?
Apa ini standarnya sendiri Sataria?
Yep, it belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Samari City. So when they start talking with them, listen carefully to the details of our conversation.
Ah, dear customers, would you like to look at some pottery?
Tembikar? Apa tembikar?
we caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild?
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing for him. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret. And I simply changed trades when my works turned out.
Nice. You're making a living doing something you love.
So is your father still working?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough...
I see. We wish I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure.
Oke. Kumpulkan perumahan seseorang gitu. Mana lagi kita? So.
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia. So she always comes by whenever she's out in the city. Nahida, you've really thought of everything. It's my duty to protect Samari's citizens, after all.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before. Huh? Sorry, if I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding.
Ah, that's right. I've always been really interested in feats of marine. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in. But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm...
What an admirable spirit for learning.
Sure, but you find hardworking people.
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh. First I've...
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or...
I see. Yes, that makes sense.
Thank you so much. As long...
Ke sana nih. Kita jalan lagi. Ding 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 ding. Nah,
So,
udah
was
kecil.
that everybody? Mm-hmm. 3 familiar faces should be enough for Sataria. What's the point of all the information we collected? Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break. I remember you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormuz are all making a fuss about the upcoming although it's all just a boatload of nonsense.
Okay.
Paimon gets it now. You want to take advantage of the guilt Sataria feels about her, although she knows she should return home to help.
Kekek dong.
So, how do we set it up?
Lu dapat baca.
Well, King Deshret is long gone, and Sataria is also too smart. If we simply engaged her under the guise of King Deshret's believers,
Okay.
she would but if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her... So, you mean you're going to, possess them through the Akasha, imply they've already converted to the faith of King Deshret, and then convey our... As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Satar. So that's how you're going to use all the info. Exactly. So, best of luck with Best of luck? That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I possess them. As long as you're also wearing an... That is pretty convenient. Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating. You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as Catherine.
Baiklah.
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But don't beat yourself up over it. Alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, kita akan melakukan aksinya besok siang. Jadi untuk sekarang kita cukup sampai di sini. Kita lanjut besok guys ya. Thank you guys. Bye bye.